Hello, post-university esports fans. Warren JuggleGod Hammond here. Excited to be back in the booth tonight with MultiKel. How are you doing? so do I, and I apologize. Your mic was cut off for just a moment there, Multi. But it's so
Oh,
excited to
here.
have you.
There we
So
go.
excited to have you. No, that was on my end. I could hear you just chat cutting, stream
Okay,
cutting. Yeah,
okay.
but we are here now. Excited to be back. Week number 3 here at the NECC, and we got the post-university Eagles currently sitting at a 1-1 record right now, and they're going to be going up against Johnson and Wales, the blue team. They're sitting at a 2-0 record, so of course still very early in the season, but I'm sure that Post would love to pull even with them in the standings, if nothing else, with a 2-1 record. Let's see here. Now, go ahead. Yep.
No, I was gonna say 2-0 teams are tricky because they're either starting off really strong and they're gonna want to keep this momentum going, or they might just come off of 2 really easy games. Who knows? That's
Right.
what we're gonna find out tonight, most likely.
Exactly, yeah. Because Post University, their first win, I think, was pretty straightforward for them. Second game was a little bit tough. They were pretty close in all 3 maps, but they were just edged out last week every single step along the way. So hopefully we'll see more coming out here from Post University. But it looks like they're also ready to go. We're going to be starting on Lijiang Tower. Which is, I'm sure, a surprise to nobody, frankly. Lijiang Tower, just always a favorite here in Overwatch. Oh gosh, you get to see me type terribly there for a moment. But also, big shout out, Papagepetto, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
we were talking about this before stream, and I think I've said that to him just about every. Well, definitely every year I've been casting here, so I think that's two to three now at this point. So happy birthday, Geppetto. Excited to be casting for you again.
You already know it's the birthday buff. Now if we it's the win. The win is the birthday gift here. You already know.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, happy about that. We'll have to make sure Papagepetto gets at least a play of the game, or we at least highlight them today. But it looks like Post University is sticking to kind of what they know, sticking to their guns here, right? We got Krystal on the Symmetra, so definitely going to see that TP to point. And I feel like what I remember from last week is that Post University seemed to do a very good job when they had control of the point. They were able to keep it, but it was swapping it back under their control, which was really the big issue. So hopefully with this lineup, they can at least start out on the right foot, get on a point, get things set up, and post up and start to build percentage.
We're going to see the speed boost and speedering out just to get them quickly out of point, and we're most likely going to see Krystal pop the TP right into there.
Yeah, immediately.
Looks like the enemy team are just going to be relying on speed from Lucio.
Ooh, Krystal. Oh my gosh, Krystal gets hit at the last moment there by that shot from the Cassidy. Now a lot of damage going into that Reinhardt, though, for Johnson Wells. In fact, they're going to have to kind of stay back here. Great job for Papagepetto to try and keep him off the point. Now we got the point starting to trick over, but a big charge coming in from Piggy Boy. That's going to put a damper on things here for Post University. Great initial control of the point, but maybe a little bit over-aggressive, leading to this point flip.
Yeah, honestly, holding that one side was really good. We're going to be seeing a few ults already almost online. DBL Gaming is already 75% away to ult. Post University is going to want to be careful about those, going to be very aware. Jojo is the closest at 73% to rally.
Yeah, that rally could be very big as well. I mean, getting that rally in. There's the TP once again. Double Gaming trying to get some damage, and it's going to be Piggy Boy, though, who ends up getting that final blow. But certainly a lot of damage coming in from this Cassidy right now. That's going to be another fight win here for Johnson Wales.
Oh, Mydudesa just barely slipping away. Oh my gosh. we have not seen any ults yet, though, from either side. Yeah. We are seeing Mydudesa and Jojo get some ults here.
Yeah, we absolutely are. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Emerald Bola starting out with Emerald Bola starting out with this Coalescence for the opposing team. 5 ultimates for them right now, so Post University, they're going to want to try and pull out as many of these ults as they can, I believe. There's going to be the TP to point. There comes that rally from Jojo. That's going to be big. We've got also the ultimate from Mydudesa, but this could be a huge Deadeye coming from Double Gaming. That's going to get Moridin down. Jojo falls shortly thereafter. 60% on the board here. Papagepetto tries to get something going with an ultimate, but it's not going to be enough to flip the point here.
Very much a 3 ults for 3 ults here. We are seeing Krystal and Moridin come up with both the Deadeye and the wall. Honestly, we could probably see both come out at the same time just to protect Moridin.
Yeah, that's very true, because this has to be, this is going to be their last ditch effort here. We are in final fight territory. So again, here comes that TP onto the point. At this point, though, we're sure that Johnson Wales got to be expecting it. There's a skill orb through here. Here's that big wall, the Deadeye coming in. Blizzard, though, to try and stop things. They're going to be able to successfully keep Moridin at bay. Unfortunately for Post University, it looks like that's going to be first round, but Jojo comes in with a kill. It's not over yet. They're just down one player, but that hammer of Piggy Boy's gonna swing through them. Johnson Wales gonna take the first sub-map here, but I think we got some good things from Post University that we can look forward to in the next sub-map.
Oh, definitely. I feel like they kind of know how they want to play here. At this point, it's just Brawl v Brawl with Papagepetto on the Orisa, Krystal on the Symmetra. I feel like as long as you just kind of wait for their ultimates to come out, wait for their cooldowns to come out, you pop the TP, you're kind of in the clear here. It's just depending on timing, is a Post University is probably going to win them or lose them the point.
Yeah, that's very true. Again, I think if Krystal's able to get the team onto point quickly, that could be pretty much all they need. If they can get one possession here, I think we're going to see a really strong showing from Post.
Good to see them come out on the same comps here, except Moridin switches over to the Torbjorn instead.
Ooh, yeah, and that could be nice. Having this extra turret here could be absolutely huge, especially if they're putting a lot of damage into, I guess it's Piggy Bio, rather, not Piggy Boy, but Piggy Bio with a huge Fire Strike. They've actually been a pretty big thorn in their side, but they're going to go down just completely unaware of that turret. Papagepetto getting that final kill right there, and that will be first possession here for Post University.
Oh my gosh, those turrets! They hurt as a tank main, man. Getting hurt into there, realizing getting shot from 4 directions at once, it never feels good.
No,
we're gonna see Jojo kind of stuck out in the open here.
Oh, oh wow, Papagepetto actually jumping out there to see if they can support Jojo, but Jojo gets taken down. Papagepetto now trying to back out quickly, especially considering that a big source of their heals is gone. But this looks like now Post University just needs to try and stall as long as they can on point. Get enough percentage here, but Mydudesa and Quisser go down pretty quickly. Moridin tries to get out, but that's going to be point flipped over.
I feel like in this, you want to have all fights happen on point where the turrets are. I feel like Krystal tried to save Jojo here and Papagepetto, but it just wasn't enough. They were able to catch Jojo, and by the time there was already a 4v5, they know they have to take the point. They're probably gonna Post University probably gonna look to do the same thing again.
Yeah, they're gonna actually take a kind of a short TP out to the side here. Definitely gonna need to watch out for Yoon though on this edge here. Don't want to get any boofs off the map, but Krystal's already down. Piggy Bio tries for a charge, not gonna find anything, but with Moridin down, it's gonna be another quick fight win here for Johnson and Wales.
At this point, you have to back up. You have to wait until the rest of the team comes in. I think Johnson and Wales is going to look to hold this area, most likely just to stop the TP before it even happens.
Yeah, and I think Piggy Bio is looking for a big shatter right here as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so Papagepetto really needs to be on. It needs to be very aware as they start to push out here. Actually, Piggy Bio dropping back now, realizing that, yeah, the TP is actually coming through from the high ground. Yeah, there it goes on to point. Krystal trying to set up his turrets. Fire Strike goes through, doesn't find anything. Big shatter, though, from Piggy Bio. Double Gaming comes away with the Deadeye off the back of it. Papagepetto trying to stay alive. Moridin looks for something, is able to get 1. Make that 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, so a little bit of damage done there by Post University, but once again, we are entering last fight territory. There's going to have to be a bit of a regrouping here, and that's exactly what Nada Smurf has done.
Nada Smurf has the Blizzard. This is going to be either really dangerous for Post University. They have to go in now before that blizzard hits them.
That's actually going to be great for Post University, but Double Gaming is already taken down Moridin. Here comes the rally now from Jojo to try and swing things around. They're actually putting out a ton of damage right now. They're getting a couple kills. Post University going to be able to take back this point in the nick of time. Need to get the stagger.
Oh my gosh, that stagger is going to be huge for them. Actually, they can group up here, and they want this. They want the fight to happen on point, no matter what. Yeah, they don't want to push out here. They want to wait for Johnson Wales to make a mistake somewhere around here. Whether that's Piggy Bio going back in, taking too much damage from turrets, who knows? But that stagger is going to help them. Oh, and they switch out. None of Smurf switches off to the Pharah here.
That's an interesting choice. I feel like that's going to be hard to... It's still going to be very hard to deal with these turrets, but they are going to be able to get in damage without having to step into the point. So that is something that they do have. And in fact, they're going to be able to kind of chase people along the outside, keep them off of those edges. Jojo going down pretty low, though, as is Krystal. So my dude Mydudesa gets another huge shatter from Piggy Bio. They're able to get a couple of kills. Nice charge as well. Papagepetto actually coming away with that kill. This is not over yet. Post University has equalized this. And Papagepetto doing a nice job kind of staying over here. Big boom coming out from Yoon. Doesn't quite get him, though. What a charge from Papagepetto. The shatter onto Yoon as well. Fire strike, taking out Emerald.
Oh my god, Papagepetto and Mydudesa against the world right here.
Right? What phenomenal gameplay coming out here for Post University. Got one player on the point, but these are just staggers at this point. I believe we are going to a map number 3 here, MultiKel, and I am so here for it. Post University able to come back here at the last moment.
Oh, they switched onto the ball, but it's just not enough at this point.
No,
it's a 4v5v1 at this point.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case, I mean, pretty much for all of these staggers right here. And yeah, the time is just going to accelerate it. Just go down in a very accelerated way.
This is awesome to see. We finally found them finding their footing. They want to play in point, and because they did, they waited for them to be aggressive, and then they finally punished them for it. This is awesome. I can't wait to see what happens at the next point. I think we're going to be seeing them on tower at this point.
Control center.
Control center. Oh my god, how many sub-maps in this game?
Yeah, I know. There's a lot. And, oh my gosh, yeah. I've been doing this as long as I have. You do get used to these maps, but it takes a while. It takes a while, especially because there's, okay, so a little bit of like of caster complaint right here. Like there are so many gardens in this game. Why did they have to name so many of the sub-maps gardens?
Oh my god,
frustrating.
I agree.
Frustrating. But here we go. Big brawl point right here as well, MultiKel.
We're going to see Krystal switch back over into the Torbjorn since Symmetra isn't really as strong on Control Center, and Moridin going over to the Reaper, probably to blast some of these squishies, or Piggy Bio. Ooh.
Yeah, but this is an interesting pick here. The Junkrat from Not a Smurf could be pretty devastating for Post University. I mean, Riptire can single-handedly win a fight. They can also single-handedly swing a fight back in your favor too. So there's a lot here that I think Post University is going to have to be really cognizant of, be very aware of, and that's certainly one of the big ones.
Not a Smurf is definitely going to be a threat towards any turrets that they place down. Probably the reason why they switched over to it. As you see, Not a Smurf also taking over the back line here too. Papagepetto is aware of both of these angles here.
Yeah, definitely.
They don't want to find their footing.
Yeah, they certainly are, and I think a big part of it could be Moridin finding something in the back line. Double Gaming goes down pretty low. Post University not able to capitalize on that, but that certainly gives them a little bit of room to kind of take some space here and move forward.
Oh, there's a lot of skirmishes here going on at once.
Yeah, there certainly are. There's the TP that we were looking for from Moridin, and now they're starting. That's going to be a nice hinder, though, coming out from Double Gaming, but that also just means that it's not going to be available as the rest of Post University starts to move in. Moridin doing a great job putting this pressure on. Double Gaming is going to go down here, so that's huge. Post University needs to stay up, but here comes that Riptire that we were worried about. Not a Smurf trying to do as much as they can. Huge shatter coming out from Papagepetto. That Riptire has been spotted. It's going to detonate onto Moridin, but is this going to be enough to swing the fight back in favor of Johnson Wales? Because right now it is certainly in favor of Post.
Oh, and we're going to see the Deadeye come out too. I don't... Ooh.
Oh, it went through the shield, I believe. Either that or Papagepetto dropped it at the last second, but the point has flipped for Post.
We're going to see Jojo go down here. It's probably going to go back over to Johnson and Wales at this point. Yoon is still holding on to the beat here, but we are going to see Krystal and Jojo have both Rally and Molten Core. We're probably going to see an early Molten Core here out of Krystal to cut the enemy lines off at this point.
I think that coupled with the rally from Jojo could be absolutely devastating, right? Cut off a lot of different escape routes with that Molten Core, and then just walk on them with the rally. Everybody swinging, everybody putting in a lot of damage. And here comes that rally. Yeah, there's the Molten Core as well. Charge coming in for Papagepetto. Almost gets not a smurf. Gonna be able to take him down here, though. Oh, but look at this. They're in a lot of trouble here. They bit off more than they can chew. It is going to be a trade, though, as Double Gaming has gone down. We do also have the ultimate out from Mydudesa, too. That's going to certainly help things quite a bit, but now both teams seem to have stabilized. Moridin coming up with that Death Blossom pretty soon, but they're going to have to watch out for the Shadow from Piggy Boy. It does take down Moridin. They're not going to be able to stay up, which is huge for Johnson and Wales. Krystal gets one, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Here comes Papagepetto, though. They are back into the fight, so now it's going to be a 3v3. It's certainly still absolutely possible for Post University to come away with this. In fact, points going to be yielded by Johnson and Wales. Fantastic play.
That shatter could have been way scarier, to be honest with you.
It could have.
Definitely could have. But it does take down one, and Papagepetto was there in the nick of time to save the point here. We are going to see Mydudesa have Riptire again, and Emerald go back onto Coalescence here.
Oh, that Riptire. Yeah, this could be pretty devastating again. Let's see where they're going to try and take it. They're looking to go from this high ground. They're trying to get it behind everybody. Actually, they're going all the way around. Moridin does have this Death Blossom. It is going to take out Krystal. That's going to be a big deal here for Post University. Big shatter. Absolutely massive. 3 down. There's the Death Blossom as well. Might have been a little bit of an overcommit from Post University, but you know what? They got the point. Now they just have to hold it for 2 more fights.
This is true. This is true. And on this is gonna be a really good stagger.
This could be a fantastic stagger, yeah. But Not the Smurf actually did a good job escaping. So now that's gonna be a pretty quick reset. Mydudesa, this ultimate from them needs to be big.
Johnson and Wales does not. Honestly, Yoon might get the beat here, but it's gonna be a little late into this fight if they take it in early. I feel like if Mydudesa can pop the orbital early here, and Krystal with the Molten Core, they're gonna find really good success. There we go.
Yeah, there's going to be that orbital. Multicore is online now as well, but Krystal is down. It's going to be 1-for-1 trade, though. Looks like a lot of damage going in, but Piggy Bai is able to take out Papagepetto. This could be a little bit rough here for Post University. Now it's Mydudesa trying to keep everybody alive, but Jojo goes down there at the last moment. Moridin doing everything they can to stay alive, getting some of that health back from that damage they've done. Rest of the team trying to come back in here. Point might flip over. Mydudesa trying to keep it alive with the help of Papagepetto, who's just gotten back to the point. There's that Molten Core. There's that sound barrier, though. Another big shatter coming in from Piggy Bio, but here comes the Riptire. Is it going to be able to do anything? Krystal gets one. The Riptire doesn't. This could be the difference maker. Moridin is back. Not a Smurf, going down very low. Moridin trying to stay alive with that Tracer doing a lot of damage. If they can... Oh, they're not quite able to stay out of the way. Is Post University going to be able to get back to point? Not quite in time. What a game. What a game.
I don't blame for coughing there. So much happened in that minute alone. Jeez. I could not keep up for a second there.
Oh, yeah. That's, I look at this. Happy birthday, Papagepetto. Play the game right off the bat.
Oh, they just lined up so well for him to swing on that. Oh, my God. Yeah, I'll take the birthday gift any day.
They really did. They really did. Fantastic play all the way around. Give me just 1 second here. Okay, now you are checking here you once again, MultiKel. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very close match. I think we are in for a very exciting game here tonight. Post University is down 0-1, but that was so hard fought, and I think Post University was in it until the very end. Gardens was a little rough. That was definitely when they were finding their footing, but once they did, they looked fantastic.
Honestly, we saw they were able to adjust. They realized, okay, we just have to play onto point once we develop, and then we just wait for them to make a mistake. It's a little more difficult to do that on Control Center because there's so many openings in that area.
Right.
But even then, it was a close game. So Papagepetto with that shatter, honestly, nearly making the entire point just on the Post's side.
Yeah, and I honestly think, maybe a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit better ult economy as well, I think, for Post
Yeah,
University, right? Because I think Moridin
definitely.
had that great Death Blossom, and the play was there, right? It made a lot of sense.
Hmm.
But by the time all of the rest of Johnson Wales was popping up after that chatter, they were essentially
Hmm.
dead, right?
No, I
So,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough to tell. I mean, those split-second decisions are very hard to make, but that's also going to be the difference maker in a lot of these games.
Hmm. Whether it's the Death Blossom where they put the orbital ray,
Right,
it's very
right.
very hard to say.
It is. It really, really is. And I mean, one of the, Overwatch just one of the fastest games there is out there, right? So
Like I said,
it's tough to
in that
tell.
like in those 20 seconds alone, there was so much that happened. I'm like, oh my gosh, who is gonna win this? Jeez.
It was really hard to tell. Yeah, it really could have gone either way. I mean,
Hmm.
both teams were getting some great picks, but just never exactly the right ones, or
Hmm.
rather, just outdone just a little bit by Johnson Wales. And honestly, Johnson Wales is looking great too. I mean,
Oh yeah.
credit where credit is due, and I think that the two players that I'm really I think watching out for are going to be Double Gaming and Piggy Bio in this
Oh
match because I
definitely.
think. At least for Johnson Wales, those are the two that are kind of standing out to me at the moment. So if Post University can neutralize one or the other, I think Post will find a lot of success too.
Biggie Bio especially, you could definitely he's waiting for them to make a mistake. But when Post University doesn't make a mistake, Biggie Bio is going to force that space no matter what.
Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't with Krystal's turrets.
Yes,
Because oh my gosh,
yes.
I can relate to that so hard as a Reinhardt man.
I know, right? There's no worse feeling than just walking into a face full of turrets,
Oh
and
yeah.
you're like, oh, I've got 1500 shield or however much it is these days,
Yeah.
1200.
But someone's gotta do it, right? You know, you gotta
Well,
push
that's
in,
true
you gotta
too.
figure
You do.
yeah. Someone's gotta push in, they gotta identify where the turrets are, and then there, now you know how to play, whether it's in
Yes,
a different
exactly.
area or a DPS just comes in and destroys it. Like that far, I think I saw not a Smurf switch over to the Pharah for a second there, and I
Yeah,
think it was to destroy the turrets, most likely.
yeah.
I think we might have.
I think that makes yeah. I think it was to destroy the turrets, but I think at least on that was night market. I think part of that
Mhm,
too might have been to kind of force some of that backline into kind of a vulnerable place, right? Because we saw them
mhm.
kind of like flank around the outside of the point there, right?
Yeah.
And just kind of like pepper them with rockets, forcing them kind of like inside the point where they just weren't as well covered.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think it kind of served both, right? It served to both
Yeah.
help get rid of the turrets, right, with that burst damage, and then also to just kind of poke and prod until something came of it. And
Mhm.
it worked great for them. And yeah, we saw also not a Smurf go to the other explosions, right? Go over to the Junkrat. So, um,
We're gonna say a lot of bombs. That's all I'm gonna say.
right. Well, it looks like we're going to be going to hybrid next. So I'm anticipating, of course, King's Row.
Mhm.
And I think as well, based on what we saw, we're going to be looking at a pretty close match here too, especially if these two maps are just so classic, right? So we know both teams are going
Oh
to be
yeah.
practiced on them.
Mhm. King's Row is one of those ones that honestly all comps work really well on. One's being better than others, but the brawl comp, it's always like such a fun Reinhardt map. So I know Pop is probably gonna have fun in this one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Papagepetto is looking forward to this quite a bit. Kind of fingers crossed that Johnson Wales does in fact pick King's Row. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think you're very right. I think that Kings Row can absolutely Kings Row does. I think a lot of players and a lot of people who watch the game and are fans of the game think that it's almost that you're throwing if you're not picking a brawl composition. But like you said, I think honestly any of them can work, and I think especially on first point, I think first point dive is stronger than most people think. There
Hmm.
is a lot of high ground that you can stage from, and you can with that high ground as well. You can push people around a lot too, and I think that's just often overlooked. I think and as well, I think King's Row, if you're on attack, is also a good point. Yep, there we go, King's Row.
There we go.
Yeah, is a point that's surprisingly strong with dive on third when we're talking about payload maps. A lot of payload maps are uh, a lot of payload maps are weak on third point if you're trying to use dive on attack because a lot of times dive requires you to get kind of behind the enemy team and there's not a very easy way to do that. But with King's Row third,
Yeah.
there's a lot of high ground that if you can control either on attack or defense can be very, very powerful.
I'm curious whether or not we're going to see a similar TP like we saw last King's Row match.
Oh,
The one that we fought against, and it's going to be the one on top of, like, on first point.
Yes.
A little past the gate. Yeah, like nearby the statue. I'm curious if we're going to see something similar to this again, because I thought that was a really cool TP just to get right into the action.
Yeah, so did I. You know, and there's so many TPs that I think they've just been done, right? It's with a game like this, especially with a map like King's Row, a lot of times you look at that and you say to yourself, everything's been figured out. We found it all. But that was a new TP to me last week, and I loved it.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to see if they use that again. It didn't work out as well as, of course, they'd hoped, and I think as well as it does in practice. But I think you keep trying it, you keep workshopping, and I think it can definitely work because it is also going to have that element of surprise.
Because on King's Row, it's so easy to have, like, in the enemy May or on defense side, just pop that wall whenever somebody tries to come in, and then, you know, the defenders just eliminate whoever's past that wall, rinse and repeat. That's usually the cycle here. So having TPs in general is just great.
Yeah, it certainly is. Give me just a moment here. I'm trying to fix one setting. We have loaded into the map, so I apologize. I think I'm going to have to fix that setting later. Okay, yeah, we're going to fix it later. All right. But to King's Row we go.
I will say Post University did take at least one submap and brought the final points at 99%. This is very, very doable for Post University.
It certainly is. Also, shout out to everybody in chat. We got a happy birthday to Papagepetto. Vanguard, very excited about the Rhine mirror. And Lina Cat, go Rosie, Johnson and Wales, Rosie, love Rosie. So love to see that we got some Johnson and Wales fans in the chat as well.
Oh, there we go.
So welcome. Glad to have you here, and hope you're ready for a nice long game as well. This is going to be good times. But we do have Post University on defense first here. Moridin on the May. So I'm going to be curious to see what Piggy Bio does here, right? You know, if you play Rhine on this map, you're very aware of this wall that May can put up. And it looks like, yeah, May's going to... Oh, Piggy Bio. Ooh. Beautiful move right there. That's about what I was going to say. You want to do that if you're Reinhardt. You go through that choke just a little bit, just to the point where if you back up, you stand on top. Double Gaming is up here, though, with this Widowmaker as well. That could be a big deal. In fact, yeah... Krystal down, Papagepetto is down. This is going to be a very fast point capture, it looks like, for the Johnson and Wales. And Double Gaming, again, definitely the player I think to watch out for.
Widow's one of those characters where you don't have much util when you're in front of somebody, but you can just hold space because you're just Widowmaker. You can headshot people and just get rid of switches as soon as possible.
Yeah, you know.
Now they do a lot of damage here, too.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, might be a hot take here, but I honestly think that Widowmaker serves a very similar can serve a very similar role to a tank in that they take and control space. So when you have a good Widowmaker, it's almost like you've got another tank on the team as well. Looks like we're going to swap over to the Tracer too, so this is going to be fascinating. This is definitely a play at the back line, but Krystal's going to be a pretty big deal. In fact, I'm going to keep our eyes on Krystal right now. Yeah, we can see already that turret going in. Huge shatter from Piggy Bio, though. That's going to be 2 players down. Papagepetto falls. Piggy Bio with a single-handedly winning that fight.
Yeah, honestly, oh my gosh, Piggy Bio is already at 35%. We're probably going to see another shatter in the near future, too. But we are going to see Mydudesa and Papagepetto nearly get Orbital Ray and Shatter here. I'm very curious to see how Post University is going to do here. They have to stop them before they capture second point.
Yeah, they really do. But I mean, another thing though is Street's Phase does go fairly quickly in Overwatch. It's just it's a point where you can get a lot of space relatively easily, and the attacking side is pretty powerful. I think attacking side definitely favored a little bit here, but Double Gaming trying to take out that turret. They're able to get it, but they're going to have to use their recall to get their health back. Krystal's able to take out Not a Smurf. Jojo needs to turn around, see if they can find this Tracer. Double Gaming, they actually TP out of the way, and in the meantime, honestly, I think Double Gaming being in that back line worked out well for Post University. It was a
Oh,
4v5
definitely.
up front for most of that fight.
Playing Tracer recently, I realized how much I hate turrets and how much time it distracts you from actually being into the fight. And we
Right.
literally saw that just now. Double Gaming had to get rid of turret, otherwise they're going to take the damage. And because of that, they weren't in the fight. It became a 4v5.
Big thing we're going to have to watch out here for is Yoon with this sound barrier. Krystal's definitely going to be using this Molten Core. I think we ideally want to see either that or the Blizzard come out to bait the sound barrier and then the other one to clean up the fight. Papagepetto taking a lot of damage, actually. Hoping that one of these ults comes up online. There it is. There's that Molten Core. Krystal almost goes down, but big healing coming out from Jojo, from Mydudesa to keep them alive. And if nothing else, Post University is stalling out the point here.
We are going to see Double Gaming also use Pulse and backline. Ooh.
Another big shatter coming out. That's going to be Suzu as well to try and keep the team alive. Big wall to try and keep everybody from dying as well. Krystal does go down. Yeah, Moridin gonna be at the receiving end of that charge.
We are going to see Mydudesa just barely make it out with the neck. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. All right, never mind. So instead, we're going to see Papagepetto and Moridin come very close ults here, and Jojo to an extent here. I don't know if they're going to stop this second point in time.
I don't think so.
It's going to be a huge cost if they do.
Yeah, and in fact, I think Papagepetto thought about it and tried to go in. I remember that actually kind of being an issue last year at the beginning of the season for Post, is like that decision whether or not to try and push the point or save it. Big kill coming in, though. Post University is going to be able to retake, I think, control over this. Now the Smurf does go down, who has swapped over to the Ashe, which is interesting. I think this makes a lot of sense, though. They're probably going to be looking to try and control this high ground here. And this being one of those two places that I was talking about earlier.
No, they're gonna, honestly, we're gonna see nearly 4, 5 ults at this point from Johnson Wheels here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, have to be aware of that.
Ooh, a lot of ults coming out from Post University here. Not a Smurf going ahead and getting that Bob out into the backline. That's going to be problematic. Jojo does go down. Papagepetto falls as well. That was a huge Bob, honestly. Quick shout out here to MultiKel. MultiKel is sticking with us for the first 30 minutes of this match, but has to go to now and play on the league team. Multicore coming out here from Krystal to try and save things, but already a couple players down. 3 minutes on the clock here, so Post University needs to try and stall out this card, but I think it's just going to be a slow stagger to death on the point. Mydudesa does get out there with Jojo, trying to keep themselves alive here, but they both do fall. Nobody else going to be able to touch the point for Post University. 2:45 on the clock.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
.245 time bank is pretty good. Johnson and Wales, I think, is looking very strong in this map. So, Post University needs to, I think more than anything, get a fast cap on first point. Ideally, first or second fight, because if you can build up a pretty substantial time bank right off the bat, then you can afford to make a few mistakes as time goes on. But if it ends up being kind of tough to get there, to keep the pressure on that point, that first point, and to eventually cap it,
Isn't that what you want?
well, then you're losing kind of like some of that buffer room as you move into the other points on this map. Papagepetto going for the dive composition, and yeah, the name of the game here is going to be kind of controlling this high ground. Looks like they've already got a lot of their team set up there to try and keep Post University from doing that, but Moridin here on on the Bastion, this could be a pretty big here. There's that TP that we were looking for. Right off the bat, Yoon is able to take out Moridin, so that's a huge blow to Post University. I think Post is just going to try to back out here. Krystal does go all the way in, tries to get a little bit of damage and see if they can maybe get a kill on the board, but it's not going to happen. So Post University is going to regroup. Good thing for Post University is this was a very fast fight loss for them. So not a whole lot of time has been burned off the clock here, and they're going to be able to get in pretty quickly. Big thing that they're going to have to watch out for, though, are going to be those anti-nades, especially with Papagepetto with no shield right now, using the Orisa. So I think positioning is going to be very, very big for the backline for Post University. But right now, they're looking great as far as ult charge is concerned. Huge immortality field coming out from Mydudesa, which I think is absolutely necessary to have somebody on the Baptiste, especially when you're looking opposite of Yoon. But right now, Post University just having a hard time getting through this choke point. Piggy Bio, the rest of Johnson Wales doing a fantastic job of just keeping that pressure on. But now Post University pushing in. Piggy Bio able to take out two. Now these rockets coming in from Not a Smurf, that's going to make it that much more difficult. And Post University going to have to back up and try again. So now we're getting into this point that I was talking about where it's a little bit dicey now for Post University. They have lost a couple of fights. It's a minute and a half off the clock. They've got 2.5 left. Now is when they need to start putting together a winning fight. Big things, though, that I think Post University has going for them. Yoon already used their Nano Boost. Piggy Bio does have this Primal Rage, though, so that's going to be a big deal. Nice job taking care of that turret. We've also got Krystal on Soldier 76 now. That's going to help out a lot. Big damage coming in. Papagepetto takes out another, and this is exactly what we needed. Not a Smurf needs to go, though, and that's going to be Krystal's job along with the turret, frankly. Actually, I guess we don't have turrets anymore. But huge fight win for Post University. That's what we need to see. Now we need to see a fast second as well. So Post University does need to start pushing up here, especially because we're looking... It looks as though Johnson Wales wants to keep this dive composition. Now, I think this gives a little bit of an edge for Post University going into the Streets phase, but a lot of ults online here with Piggy Bio having this Primal Rage, too. They can stall out the clock. If Johnson Wales goes down, if they get picked, right? Big ult in the backline, able to take out one, but it is just going to be a trade here. Papagepetto goes in for the ult. There's a rally, able to get that out along with the multi-core from Double Gaming. That's a lot of ultimates committed. Papagepetto's gonna die, though, as they back up through that molten core. But honestly, they got out 3 ultimates there. That is huge. That's going to be very big going into this next fight, especially because Post University didn't use any of their own. Krystal trying to push forward now, but the Piggy Bio has that Primal Rage, and there it comes. Now trying to boop Moridin out of the way. They're able to do that. And Post University, I think, went a little too quickly. I think they tried to push when they weren't quite ready, thinking they had a weakness when they really didn't. So Post University needs to just take some time and regroup here, because right now they're just kind of trickling in, and Johnson and Wales has to be happy about this right now. Oh, here comes Moridin with their ultimate. Are they going to be able to find anybody to try and split the team a little bit? Unable to get anything outside of that turret, but that is going to allow them to move forward a little bit. Piggy Bio still kind of holding on to the side right here. Papagepetto trying to push him back. That's going to be a nice biotic grenade coming in to help keep Piggy Bio up. It forces Post University back off for just a second. A lot of damage coming in. Krystal is down still, waiting for them to respawn. And Post University really getting caught here. This is one of the strongest places to put up a defense. But here we go. Big ultimate coming out from Jojo. There's that molten core coming out now from Double Gaming. Papagepetto goes down, eating another biotic grenade. Honestly, Yoon, one of the big heroes here for Johnson and Wales. The anti-nades coming out from Yoon have just been absolutely spectacular. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that we haven't seen Papagepetto go over to the Reinhardt yet. Papagepetto seems convinced that this Orisa is going to be the way to go. I mean, honestly, with that spear, it can be great to have opposite of this Winston, right? You can keep those dives from coming in if you hit that javelin. But another huge anti-nade. Yoon is just getting these for free. Post University needs to get some eyes on Yoon right now. Perhaps a Tracer, somebody in the back line. Speaking of the back line, Not a Smurf able to get 3 with that barrage this time around. So, finding their footing on this Pharah, to say the least. I think the ultimates we're looking at here for from Post University are gonna be. Oh, that's a big kill. I was going to say the. Oh, here comes another one from Papagepetto trying to get some damage in onto Piggy Bio, but that's not quite enough. Was hoping to see Papagepetto hold on to that for the attack visor. I think that would have been a fantastic combination, but thought they saw an opportunity. They went for it. Wasn't going to be there this time around. And now, 48 seconds on the clock. We are looking at last fight here for Post University. And Post University is also staring down 4 ultimates right now. We do get the swap, though. Looks like we want to get a lot of big damage. Again, the anti-nades from Yoon. Absolutely out of this world, out of control. Every single time they are finding their mark. That rally, though, doesn't quite get, I think, exactly what they want. They are able to find Mydudesa in the backline. Another beautiful shot coming out from not Smurf. Papagepetto trying to get something done, trying to just pump in as much damage as they possibly can, but now they're looking at some rockets coming in. There's a charge. Here's that attack visor coming in from Krystal. Are they going to be able to find anything with it? That's going to be a primal rage. Oh, no, not quite. That's the nano boost coming out from Yoon. Piggy Bio just getting kill after kill after kill. Every post has to touch, but no, they don't. Johnson Wales goes up 2-0. And Piggy Bio with the play of the game this time around. Yeah, this was a fantastic play by the Winston, and honestly, I feel like Winston, Piggy, and Yoon were really synced up well here. A lot of times we would see, that nano boost come out to help them get the that primal rage up, right? Those two were cycling their ults very, very well that fight. And that's exactly what you want to see with a Winston-based composition when you do have that Ana behind you. So great play again overall from everybody involved. I think Post University would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit more. A few more adjustments a little bit earlier, and then I think we would have seen a much stronger showing from them on King's Row. I think just with the anti-nades coming in, I would have liked to seen a shield, Sigma, Ramantra, Reinhardt, just something to provide a little bit more cover for perhaps the backline. Either that or just some focus on Yoon as well with those anti-nades. I think we did see Moridin go over to the Reaper, I think, at some point, but I don't think we saw them really try to find that backline, and that's ideally what I would have liked to have seen. We got a swap coming in. Looks like Yoon and Emerald are coming out, and Twill and Lavish coming in. This is going to be for Johnson and Wales. No changes, it looks like, from the side of Post University this time around. So, several map types to choose from here. Going to be curious to see what Post University decides to go for. But while we're waiting for that, we are going to throw it to a short break. So, don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon with game number 3. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the broadcast. New Queen Street was where we're going to go. It is going to be time for a push. Excited to see what Post University brings out for this map. I haven't seen them play on this one so far this year, so I don't think I have. You have a lot of different options when you come to this map. This is one for anybody who's heard me cast before. You're for Post University. Probably where I am a Wrecking Ball main. This is one of the best push maps for Wrecking Ball, but Wrecking Ball definitely kind of mid-tier tank right now, so I'm not anticipating we see anything like that here. I think we're going to see another Brawl composition coming out from both squads, and in fact, that is what we see. Papagepetto going on to potentially, though, the JQ. That could be interesting. That could potentially be problematic, although I do kind of like Papagepetto's chances against them. I guess it's going to be down to whether or not the DVS can help focus them down, push them back, what that ends up looking like. But we do once again have Krystal back on the Symmetra, so looking for Post University to be able to kind of set up a little bit quicker than Johnson and Wales. And I think that's certainly what you want to do when you are kind of staring down a Junker Queen. Oh, what a boop, though, coming out from Not a Smurf. They were just ready for it. They were ready and waiting for somebody to walk around that corner. So Post University, I think, here might want to just, you know, poke from afar, see if they can get maybe one or two picks. Krystal looking to go into kind of the back line here, but is forced to kind of give up that idea, I believe. Maybe that was a fake TP as well. That can also be pretty useful, but Not a Smurf definitely going to be a problem up there. Post University going to have to find a way to work around that. They don't want to find themselves off the point again, but I think Mydudesa certainly going to be the person who needs to really try and focus down Not a Smurf, who's already 70% to a barrage. So that's definitely something to look out for here if you are Post University, and especially if you are Mydudesa. Yeah, Not a Smurf kind of poking around from that backside. Huge pick onto Lavish, though. That's going to be Not a Smurf without that pocket anymore, so now is definitely the time to start looking for him. That's exactly what Mydudesa is doing, able to get that pick. Papagepetto does find one, looking for another, but not before Mydudesa gets one. Post University still up by one at this point. Krystal now trying to find that kill, but a knife goes right into them, looking to find a way out of it. Papagepetto just too strong on the Junker Queen, and I mean, that's what you want from your Junker Queen. That's exactly what you want from your JQ. So Post University not really going to be able to get a whole lot of progress, but they are in a little bit better position here, except for the fact that now they've got Not a Smurf and their pocket back. So Papagepetto just needs to try and stay alive while the rest of Post University regroups. Again, Not a Smurf going to be with that barrage. That's certainly something we're going to be looking out for. Everybody down low. Not a Smurf gets that barrage in, finds two, and that's going to be Post University forced to back off and give some space here. Double Gaming actually pushing up fairly aggressively here, trying to find that last pick onto Mydudesa. Able to get it. That's a big stagger in favor of that's going to be, yeah, just a huge stagger here for Johnson Wales. Also, shout out to Bearlight Cast. How you doing? What is up? Good to see you there in chat. It's been a minute. Double Gaming going down low. That was a pretty nice poke on the side there, but oh, Papagepetto coming in with the rest of the squad. Jojo pops that rally. Might be too little too late. It's Not a Smurf. It's also kind of free in the back line right now. Another big anti-nade. This time Twill on the Anna. So again, Post University really needs to look out for that. That was a nice direct coming in from Not a Smurf as well, who now got that damage boost behind them too from Lavish. Again, going to be something difficult to deal with, but oh, they stay too long. Mydudesa able to get that pick. That could be exactly what Post University needs here, as we're getting at that 100-meter mark, which a lot of times is kind of the point of victory for a lot of teams. If you can push that barrier, if you can push that to the 100-meter mark, it is almost impossible for the other team to come back in. Big ultimate coming out from Papagepetto. That's going to be a Deadeye from Mydudesa. Isn't able to get much, but both teams still in this. Papagepetto, able to stay alive, and in fact, they're in a very good position, especially with Papagepetto taking so much damage from those turrets. Post University trying to get that cart going. Papagepetto very low, but so is Papagepetto, and Not a Smurf peppering them with those rockets from afar. Oh, what's up, MultiKel? See you in chat there as well. So Papagepetto, in the end, able to stay alive there, and a lot of that, I think, was because Smurf was just able to get some of that damage in to Papagepetto and force them back. Papagepetto actually going over to the Reinhardt now, wants to, I think, apply a little more direct brawl pressure onto Papagepetto, who gets really low, but look at this flank from Smurf happening right now. This is going to be another big barrage here if Post University doesn't watch out. There it goes, able to get one, make that two. That's going to be possibly a third there for Smurf. What a play. And this is the Smurf show right now in the backline. Able to get the 4K, looking for the 5th onto Papagepetto, but not quite able to get it. So now 5.5 minutes left to go, and this is Post University with their backs against the wall right now. Johnson Wales has done a fantastic job keeping this pressure up. Post University has to get a defense right here, and it has to be big, and that is the way you start it. Fire Strike coming in from Papagepetto. Charges towards the rest of the team, closing that space, taking that space for Post University. Eats the anti-nade, and that's actually going to be a great thing for Post University. What a sleep! And now the knife coming in, but a big deadeye from Mydudesa, watching as the rest of the team pushes a little too far forward. So, Post University now back in control of this card, but they're not going to be able to get it, I really don't think, much past this middle point. The ideal thing for them is if they can take away this forward spawn. But Double Gaming able to take out Krystal. Looks like Papagepetto will get it back to the middle. So if they can hold on here, that's going to be really good for him. But with 2 picks already from Double Gaming, who's just been on fire this entire match, that's going to be that much more difficult. Here comes the Deadeye now. They're going to be able to get a couple. Oh, the Shatter comes in, though, from Papagepetto. Doesn't quite get him off the map. And in fact, Double Gaming just stands up and finishes them off. DPS here has been fantastic for Johnson and Wales. So now 4 minutes, 10 seconds. 3 ultimates that Post University is going to be staring down. 3 big ones as well. Smurf. Yeah, onto the Ashe once again. Looking for that Bob, I think. That's the idea here. Kitsune Rush coming out from Jojo. That's going to provide a lot of support here, but Papagepetto going down pretty low. Double Gaming does go down. There's a huge ultimate from Papagepetto. They're able to take 3 out. Papagepetto tries to come away with the charge, but is able to take him down. This could be it here for Post University as Johnson and Wales is inching ever so closely. They need to get a touch here, but everybody is spawned at just about the same time. Soldier 76 got to be the first to get out there, but they're stopped by Papagepetto. Jojo needs to touch. Is anybody going to be able to do it? They're not. Post University. Great showing, but Johnson Wales is going to be able to take it 3-0 this time around. What a showing, and that goes to show you, I mean, this is a 3-0 team, and I think we saw why here tonight. Johnson Wales definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, miss you too, Bearlights, miss you too. But yeah, Papagepetto, that's going to be this last push here that Papagepetto almost saved. They did a fantastic job, but just wasn't quite able to get it done. So, love what we saw from Post University tonight. Great games from everybody. Johnson and Wales coming away with a victory. Post University dropping to 1-2. But again, this is very early, and this is a squad, this is a team that we saw do phenomenal things last year. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot more excitement to come from them. But that's going to do it from us here tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Johnson and Wales, thank you all for showing up. Bear Light, MultiKel, everybody else who was in chat tonight, very much appreciate you. Be sure to like and subscribe here on the channel. Follow Post University. And GG's, and we'll see y'all next time.